everyone, and welcome to Christmas in July 2024 Virtual Fabric Show. And thanks for tuning in. We're so happy you're all here today. My name is Stephanie Sheridan, and I'm going to be your host today. We're going to be sharing projects from our ambassadors. We've had a fabulous crop of ambassadors this year who have done amazing work with all of our fabrics. And we asked them to use our holiday and winter themed collections for you all today and show you interesting and fun and exciting projects that you can create. And you have plenty of time because it is Christmas in July 25th, and we have until December 25th to get all of these things done. So just a few things before we get started. All of these holiday and winter themed collections are in stock at our warehouse right now and are probably available at many of your local quilt shops. If you're looking for them, ask at your local quilt shop. They can order them directly from Benartex through their sales rep or on our website. And if you're looking for something specific, you can go to our website and use our store locator to find a shop near you that carries the fabric collection you're looking for. Also, while you're watching the presentations, please use the Q&A box down in the bottom to put any questions that you might have for the designers or for Benartex. Use that box for your questions rather than in the chat. In the chat, feel free to make comments about the projects you see, tell us hello, where you're from, all of that. But if you have a specific question, please make sure you put it in the Q&A box so that we can see it. And we'll get to all of those at the end. So now it is time to begin our show. So first up this session is Kaitlin Esche-Lyon of QuarterLifeLeap. Her skills in foundation paper piecing make her patterns unique and exciting. The Happy Llama Days collection made her smile as she created a cool variation of one of her exciting quilt patterns. We think the projects and the fabrics will make you smile as well. So first we're going to show you a short video clip of the Happy Llama Days fabric collection, and then I'll turn it over to Kaitlin to show you her project. So those were the Happy Llama Days fabrics. And now Kaitlin's going to tell you all about what she created.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kaitlin Esche-Lyon, also known as QuarterLifeLeap. I'm from Madison, Wisconsin, and I am a full-time fiber artist and quilter. I create and sell handmade fiber pieces and art quilts throughout the summer through art shows. And on my website, I'm QuarterLifeLeap on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the socials. I was lucky enough to get to choose to use Happy Llama Days as my fabric line, and I absolutely love how adorable and cute everything is in this collection. It's so wintry and fun, and it's just a fun little print to hang around during the winter months, and it's not screaming a holiday to you. And I was actually able to use my color wheel quilts tree skirt pattern for this project. So it comes in 2 sizes, and I call these my Llama tree skirts. So it's mainly used with foundation paper piecing, and the pattern has 2 sizes, a small that fits tabletop to 4-foot trees, and then this larger size, which fits almost any other Christmas tree that you could imagine. It's really fun and whimsical, and it has little cutouts in it, and you can mix and match your prints, which is also really cool, and it's really wonderful. You can also omit pieces in here. So like this one with the sweaters, I made sure to keep those nice and big, but then with the candy canes, I was able to mix and match and put some tinier pieces in there. So you get a really fun result with that. I really love that the llamas have little socks on them, like this one. They have little socks and it's super cute. And then there's also tiny little llamas in this collection as well. So it's really fun. In my pattern, there are 2 ways to finish your tree skirt. One of which is you quilt your top and your batting together and you face it with your backing. And the other is you can put quilt binding on here, and I walk you through that through my patterns. And it comes in both PDF form and in printed form. So this is the printed form. It comes with all your paper templates ready to go for both sizes. And it's a really great pattern to use. It's beginner friendly. If you're new to foundation paper piecing, you'll be able to walk right in and see how to use it. And yeah, so that's available on my website at QuarterLifeLeap.com. Just search under the patterns and you'll be able to find it. So I also am teaching classes, and I love teaching classes, and Benartex has been so wonderful to donate classes for my, or donate fabric for my beginner classes. So this week I'm actually teaching 7 10 to 14-year-olds how to quilt. We're making a quilt in a week, and they're doing such a great job. And it's so fun to see them using Benartex fabrics and just having this really great high quality fabric in their hands. And they're just doing so great. I love it. I've also been teaching beginner quilters how to quilt, and it's been just such a joy to see these new quilters just experimenting and having fun and enjoying Benartex fabrics. And then coming in September, I'm going to be doing a quilt that is a puff quilt dog bed for my ambassador project. It'll be a tutorial, so you'll learn how to make it, which will be a lot of fun. And that's about all I have for you guys today. I hope you really enjoy the fall llamas, and hopefully you'll be able to make a fun tree skirt for your holidays this year.
Great. Thank you so much, Kaitlin. I love the llamas. I think they're adorable. My favorite part is the little Christmas lights that they have and they're wearing as necklaces. I thought that was really cute. And those cactuses that you used on the back, the cactus print, that's also another one of my favorites from that collection. So, okay, so we'll move on. Next up, we have Amanda Whisman. She specializes in creating beautiful handcrafted bags as BeMandyThings on social media and her website. Amanda enjoys the versatility of our Winter in the Pines collection and turned it into a lovely new tote bag, perfect for the entire winter season. Let's take a quick look at the fabrics and then see Amanda's project. All right, Amanda, are you ready to show us what you've made with these beautiful fabrics?
Yes, I am. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be part of the Benartex Ambassador panel. Again, my name is Amanda, and I am the creator, owner, designer, maker behind BeMandyThings. You can find me all over the socials with BeMandyThings. I mostly specialize in bags, and I say I dabble in the quilting world because I really only like to make smaller projects. I do not have the patience for full-size quilts, but I love to create with fabric, and I like the smaller quilting projects. And especially this collection, Winter in the Pines, with the reds and the greens and the creams. It's traditional and it's Christmas without being overly Christmassy. So it's versatile and it's used, you can use it for more than just the month of December. So that's what drew me to this collection. And this is my favorite of the entire collection. The black graceful deer. And I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up or not, but it's got so much metallic in it of gold metallic. And I love a shimmer. I love glitter. So, I mean, you got me with having that in there. So what I decided to make using Winter in the Pines is a bag, of course, but I made it a quilted tote bag, incorporating a quilt block of my own design. This is the Starry Tote, and I designed this for quilters and bag makers alike. So if you are a quilter who is looking to get into making more bags, but you're not quite sure how to do it, this pattern is for you. If you're a bag maker who has made all the bags out there, but you want more experience with the quilting world, this bag is for you. As you can see, the quilt is designed with a lot of half square triangles, and I have 2 blocks featured in this pattern. This is the traditional block, I call it, uses 6 different fabrics to create the traditional look. And then I don't know if you can see behind me, but this is the scrappy version. And so you have 2 different block options when you're making this tote. I also created the handles. They are 1.5 inches wide finished, but you can see I've used 3 different fabrics to put the handles together. So it's a unique way to show off a little bit more fabric on the bag. I added a nice big box, so it's got lots of room to carry lots of things. This bag would be great for going to your quilt class, quilting retreats, use it as a reusable shopping tote. So many different things you could use it for. The pattern also shows you how to put in a magnetic snap closure. And then inside, I love this red festive tartan, by the way. It's so pretty. So classy. This has 3 slip pockets inside, and I designed the pockets to have a pocket binding. So this tote has so many different ways you can incorporate so many different fabrics and use them kind of however you want. This is your bag. I give you kind of the blueprint, and you take it and run with it. And it can use a lot of different fabrics from the same collection. So along with this, I also put together a little zipper pouch to go with it. And inside I use the green tartan. And this one I box the corners, but this is a free pattern that I offer when you sign up for my newsletter, and this is the sunset pouch. So this is using the Benartex New Hue Basics, but this one comes with a panel or a template that you can put on the fabric to get these cool stripe effect. So I did the same with this, only I boxed the corners. The free pattern is just a flat pouch. It doesn't show you how to box the corners, but that's coming. And so those are available all on my website. And again, here's another look at the starry tote bag. I'll stand up so you can kind of see. It's a big bag. You can put a lot of stuff in it. So great for going to those classes and retreats. Travel bag, all of that. It was so fun working with the Winter in the Pines collection. Again, I love the metallics going through the fabric. And as a bag maker, finding a Christmassy type fabric that is usable for more than just Christmas, this will last as a whole winter tote throughout the whole winter season. So that is what drew me to this collection. So thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, quick question. So I noticed on the front of the bag that the corners look like you fussy cut the deer heads out. Did you do that?
I did. Yes, I did. I made sure I could get some deer in there and I fussy cutted them to fit. So thank you for pointing that out. Yes.
It's
So
perfect.
Again, lots of options you have when you're working with this tote.
I was just curious if you fussy cut them or if that was all just happy accident, because sometimes that does happen.
Sometimes, but this time I did it on purpose. I wanted those deers. I love the deer in this collection.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And just to let everybody know, I do have a couple of other projects made with the Winter in the Pines collection over here on my right side. The one in the large one in the background is called Woodland Stroll, and both of these are by Jackie Robinson. Woodland Stroll is a free pattern available on Jackie's website. And down here, this one is the Deer Lodge Block of the Month. And that one is available for purchase on Jackie's website. So we've got, we had a couple people ask about Amanda's website. It's BeMandyThings.com, and we've put the link in the chat for you. So now we're going to welcome Amy Lollis, who enjoys designing traditionally pieced scrappy projects using bold fabrics, if you couldn't tell by the quilt behind her. She features the fun and quirky Santa's Vacation line in her Christmas in July project. So fun. So first we're going to look at the fabrics, and then Amy will tell us all about what she created. All right, Amy, let's see what you've made.
Okay, so as you can see from behind me, my cardinal rule with anything that I create is it has to include the color pink. So sewing at Christmas time gets a little tricky. Not everything has the color pink. So when I got the choice of fabrics to work with, I picked the one that has the color pink. So this is Santa's Vacation. And obviously, where did he go? Santa has pink Hawaiian shirts, pink surfboards, and he looks absolutely fantastic with my favorite, the magenta basics and the powdery pink color here. So I'm a quilter through and through. I'm not a small projects type of gal. I'm not a curves type of gal. I like the traditional basic designs. So I contacted my friend Carolina Moore, who designs easy peasy lemon squeezy 3-dimensional totes and accessories. And she sent me her pattern for these roomy stockings that she designed that involve curves, which is not my favorite, but she also has this ruler that does, see if you can see that. It does darts and the corners. So she designed it to go with she designed the pattern to go with the acrylic template. So this stocking, because it's 3-dimensional and has darts, it looks like a regular stocking, you know, it's just like a nice flat stocking, but the darts in it make it 3-dimensional, and it is huge. You can fit so much in here. So her pattern calls for solid pieces of fabric, you can see, but being a scrappy traditional quilter, I couldn't just do that. I had to make it extra and make it patchworky. So these are just 4.5-inch squares, and I did fussy cut. I fussy cut Santa doing, that's my favorite, Santa jet skiing. I'm a lake girl, so anybody on jet skis, especially if they're in the middle of winter, is my jam. So I fussy cut 4.5-inch squares to make the panels. Look at the surfboards to make the panels for this. And Carolina made it super, super, super easy for someone who doesn't do projects, curves, darts, or anything besides squares and triangles to follow her pattern. So the other fun fact about, I am timing myself because I will talk all day. The other the other fun thing about this collection is it comes with these blenders that my children have fallen in love with and claimed, and these are not Christmassy. So these can be used any time of year. These don't feature Santa. So you've got your, are we upside down? Your fish and coral in blue, and then my tiny mermaid child's favorite. We have the seahorses and seashells that are also in the pink and the turquoise, which will go perfectly with the pink and turquoise and the orange in the basics. So that's all I have for this project. When I'm not doing super fun things for Christmas, I teach scrappy quilting. I look like, yes, these are great. They're so cute and they're great. So it's like a Florida Christmas vibe, which is kind of fun in July because it feels like Florida, you know, like nobody wants to think about Christmas things just yet because it's 110 degrees, but we have Christmas things that still feel summery and fun. And shout out to everybody who, you know, gets to spend their Christmas in tropical places. This is perfect for you. So yeah, when I'm not doing this stuff, I teach scrappy traditional piecing, like the one on the wall behind me. This was just leftovers from another project I did with Benartex. And I teach guild lectures on scrappy, how to shop for scrappy quilting, how to do scrappy gradient quilts, and one other thing that I can't remember now. So that's all I've got. Do we have questions? Yeah, so nice to not have Santa on all the fabrics. Yeah, you can mix and match them.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about this collection is there's some Santa, but it's not all Santa. So you can absolutely mix and match. So Amy, I know that you do a lot of very scrappy stuff. And I know that, you know, a lot of times some quilters work just in a single collection. But can you tell us a little bit about how your experience has been, because Benartex has such a wide variety of fabrics, how it's been to work with us to do your scrappy stuff?
Well, if you guys want like a real honest, like kind of crazy look at what that looks like, you can see behind me, Benartex sends me, thank you, Stephanie, like the things that I request for my projects. And I always ask for a tiny bit extra. So I had this was from a pattern that I wrote that needed certain yardage, but I asked for a little bit extra and then combined it with other fabrics from other collections I'd worked with. And then they send me just random pieces of fabric that are like leftover from other things. And I thrive on the challenge of taking all my scraps and using them all the time. It's like, I liken it to if you get to the end of your week and you have like all your leftovers in the refrigerator and you get to turn them into like a really great soup, like everything was really delicious the first time around. And then when you put it all together and add a few more seasonings, it's even better the second time around. So a few years ago, I cleaned out all the fabric from my studio that I didn't love. And what I was left with was this color palette. And then I realized that if I stayed within the color palette that really lights me up, I can put as many fabrics as I want in any quilt and it's going to work. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So it is challenging for me. Like you can tell, working with, even within a collection, I'm like, I need to add an extra 15 colors of basics with it because I can't not make it scrappy and pink and blue and purple. So yeah, it's been crazy fun working with Benartex, and you guys have been fantastic with working with my my crazy rainbow brain that wants all the things in every single quilt.
That's one of my favorite parts about you, Amy, is you put everything in. You fully believe in more is more.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for showing us your project, Amy. And we'll get to all the questions at the end. If people are popping them into our Q&A. So at the end of all the presentations, we'll go ahead and talk about all the questions.
Perfect.
But right now, it's time to switch over to a poll. So we're going to pop a quick poll up on your screen right now. If you go ahead and answer the question, for those of you that are here with us on Zoom, you will be entered to win a fun, fabulous prize, fabric, I'm guessing. And if you're on Facebook, unfortunately, we can't do the poll on Facebook, so it's only for the people that are here with us on Zoom today. So I'll leave that open for just another minute or so, well, about 30 seconds, and then we'll move on to our next presenter. But while you're answering the poll, I'm going to tell you real quickly about this quilt over here, because that fabric collection was shown in our first session. It is called, I just lost the name of the collection completely. The Spirit of Christmas, right? I'm having one of those moments. Yes, Christmas Spirit. So that collection is called Christmas Spirit. It's by David Galshit. And this quilt is called The Spirit of Christmas Hope. You can find more information about that on our website, benartex.com, and find the Christmas Spirit collection, and you can find more information about that quilt. So now that our poll is over, we'll announce the winner of our fabric prize at the end, but we're going to move on to our next presenter. So I invite you to add a fresh feel to your holiday decor with Tammy Silvers of Tamarinis. Her impressive selection of patterns encompasses many styles and techniques. She has transformed one of our basics collections, chalk texture, into a modern tablescape. First, we'll give you a quick peek of the collection, and then we'll hear from Tammy about her project. right, Tammy, it's your turn.
Ooh, finally, it's so hard to wait. I am so excited y'all are here. And I saw the comments as y'all were watching those chalk textures. It's amazeballs, right? So first, let me tell you about me. I'm Tammy Silvers. I design under the label Tamarinis. And while I've been enviously listening to these other designers that are very niche, this is what I do. What do I do? You name it, except for Baltimore album, I pretty much do it. I am slightly schizophrenic in my design style. I've got a little bit of traditional, a little bit of modern, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. With that in mind, now, Tamarinis. So, Tamarinis, you can find me everywhere online. Website, tamarinis.com. Instagram, Tamarinis. Facebook, Tamarinis. Y'all are getting the picture. Pinterest, Tamarinis. Yes, Instagram, everything is Tamarinis. So super, super easy to find. And I do want to say, I get this question a lot. They're like, Tamarinis, that's unusual. Where did that come from? I don't have a cute story. I wish I did. And people have told me to lie and make up a cute story. And I'm like, nah, that's not me because I'm 100% transparent, if nothing else. I made it up, guys. I made it up. My name is Tammy, and I just did a derivative of Tammy. No cute story. I would love to say, oh, that's what my family has always called me, or that was my grandmother's pet name, but it's not. But if that makes you feel better, you can think that. Wouldn't that be sweet if my grandmother had always called me Tamarini? So cute. But no, my mother called me Tammy Dammit, and I thought that was my name for a long time. So that's not the name of my business. All right, so let's get to my project, chalk texture. So people were commenting, oh my gosh, the full range. Did y'all see that? 63 SKUs. You could do the bulk of your next quilts for your lifetime in just the chalk textures. And as you can see behind me, I kind of got obsessed with the chalk textures, which is why I did a special project just in the chalk textures. So let's take a look at it. Let me switch my camera over. Whoops, sorry. Boom, there you go. Okay, so this is Tree Line. Brand new spanking project that I did just for Benartex and just for y'all. So I'm in a mid-century modern kind of vibe right now, and I feel like this kind of catches that jam of that kind of mid-century modern. I love several things about this. By doing it in the chalk textures, yes, I can totally make this my Christmas color palette. But if I were in a woodsy kind of mood, I could 100% have this baby laid out 12 months out of the year, right? Absolutely. So I started with these yummy fabrics. Now, this dark teal, oh my gosh, I kind of love it. And I don't have any more left, so otherwise I would show you a gorgeous fat quarter of it, but I don't. But you can see how delicious these are. But then I was thinking, okay, well, I'm kind of loving, if y'all have been shopping recently, the Halloween and Christmas palettes that we're seeing now are more of these like ice cream colors, right? Wouldn't these trees be freaking adorbs in pinks and purples, right? And that would bring it into more of like a Candyland kind of vibe. Super, super fun. So, I mean, you could do it in any colors. If you wanted to create a fallscape, then you could do oranges and reds, and it would kind of capture that. If you wanted to go totally winter frosty, you could do grays and off-whites. Very, very pretty. So super, super versatile. Now, I do want to tell you, this is paper pieced, and I know some folks are like, paper piecing scares me. This is super easy. If you look at this, you can see these are really big shapes, super, super simple to do. So I feel like it's a great new to paper piecing project because it's got very limited matching that you're going to have to do. Super limited. It's going to be just right here where these points come together. And secret between you and I, if they didn't match up, you know what? The world is going to keep spinning. Life is going to go on, and your trees are still going to look freaking fabulous. So it's pretty easy pattern. Now, while I have you here, I wanted to give you a quick little paper piecing mini, micro, mini tutorial and tip. So I have some of my favorite paper piecing tools here. Super fabulous light board. Yes. And of course, add a quarter. Cannot do anything without that. But let's look at the tree. Here is my tip. And I am, excuse me for the vertigo moment, but we're going to come in close. Now, in my paper piecing patterns, one of the things that I mention and I get some emails about is I always recommend when you're joining pieces, so these two pieces come together, that when you join the pieces, that you remove the paper from the seam. And the question I get is, what do you mean by that? Let me show you. So when I sew this piece to this piece, I'm going to have a seam right there, right? Well, you can see I press my seams open, and I am a fanatic about pressing seams open. When I piece, I don't have that choice. I have to follow the paper directions. But when I join my units, I'm going to press those seams open because my block is going to be uber flat, and it's awesome. By taking the paper out right here in the seams, I have reduced some of that bulk, so it's going to make it easier to press it flat. And when I go to sew multiple blocks together, I'm not having to try and get into a seam that's already been stitched to close. So when I say stitch your seam when you join your units and then remove the paper in the seam, you're just making your whole job a lot easier. You're taking the paper out, you're reducing some of that bulk, and then when you press your seam open, it just lays nice and flat. I wish I could just feel it. You would see it's like, oh, that's pretty darn smooth. So I hope that helps you with your paper piecing projects. There I am. I'm back again. That's what I had for y'all. Thanks so much. I hope y'all are getting tons of holiday inspiration and you're getting your Sojo on and can't wait to hit the quilt shops and then hit the sewing room, right? And start sewing.
Great. Thank you so much, Tammy. I love that tip. I've never tried that. I've done paper piecing before. It's been a long time. I'm thinking maybe I need to try it again. So we're going to move on now to our next presenter. Kari Mathews of PrairieQuilting was inspired by her family trips to the Christmas tree farm when she chose the Holiday Farmhouse plaid collection for her project. Her style is traditional with a touch of whimsy, and it's a perfect match for these fabrics. First, a video of the collection, and then Kari will show us her creation. All right, Kari, can you show us and tell us all about the project you created with these fabrics?
Thank you, Stephanie. I loved watching the video there with them loading the Christmas tree on. it reminded me that's what inspired me picking this too is, our Christmas tree trips to the farm with my family and kids. And so that was fun to see. My name is Kari Mathews. My business is called PrairieQuilting. And I grew up on the prairie in North Dakota, and I live on a prairie here in Washington. And so that's where I got my prairie quilting. And I've been quilting for over 30 years. I love the whole process of quilting. I long arm, I love designing and all that. So that's kind of where I've been and come from. And I love the fabrics from this line. I think my favorite ones were the red and green, the snowflake plaids. I love all kinds of plaid. And so I saw the plaid and I thought, oh, okay. And it did remind me of the Christmas tree farm. So I had to, here's the border print. This is my project. It's called Oh Christmas Tree. And I put the black on the border here. And I loved there's also on the back side of the quilt, I put the big print on the back. I always love to have a big print on the back. And this is a picture of the farm, the Christmas tree farm, scene with all the trucks and the barns and everything. And so there's a lot of flying geese units, and I do those 4 at a time. I have a YouTube tutorial out that just came out today. And my YouTube channel is at PrairieQuilting. And I'm on Instagram, PrairieQuilting, and my website is prairiequilting.com. The pattern is available. I have paper form or PDF, and you can get it through my website and also wholesale through Brewer. So I used the decoration or the Christmas balls here, and those are basic snowball units. And then I do a lot of templates. I love traditional piecing, so I do a lot with templates. And so there's some templates in this as well. So it kind of combines, different techniques and things, but I love to do traditional piecing and things like that. Another kind of fun thing, my kids have actually they got to work and plant Christmas trees at the farm we go to, so that's kind of fun. And let's see here. I have YouTube videos for most of my patterns, and several block of the months that are doing YouTube patterns with Benartex fabric. And I love working with all the fun fabrics. Tammy, I love the chalk textures as well. There's so many fun colors. So that's another one of my favorite lines too. So that's about, trying to think, is there any questions?
Actually, we'll get to the questions in just a minute. But thanks so much, Kari, for showing us your project. And again, your website is prairiequilting.com, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. And we put the link over in the chat for you, as well as a link to that fabric collection.
Okay. And I see. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Somebody just asked, what's the size of the quilt?
Okay.
That quilt, Kari.
Yeah, it's 57 by 57. So kind of a wall hanging size. You could use it for lap quilt as well. So yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and to end our virtual fabric show, we did have one other ambassador that was supposed to be here with us, but unfortunately something came up, and the mother-daughter team, Crystal, Brooklyn, and Daytona from DaybrookDesigns are not able to be with us today. But I did want to show you the collection that they worked with, and we'll also give you a quick image of their project and the links to their information. And then I do have one other project to show you with the Star of Wonder, Star of Light collection. So first we'll see the video and then we'll show you those projects. Okay, so that was Star of Wonder, Star of Light by Nancy Halverson. And we do have a quick image that we're going to pop up on the screen of the DaybrookDesigns pattern that they created. So this is the quilt that DaybrookDesigns created. I believe, sorry, I have to check the text message that I got from the designer to make sure that I get the name of the quilt right. It is the Starlight quilt, and it uses mostly the blenders from the collection, not the panel. And the pattern is going to be available in August. So you can go to DaybrookDesigns.com to find out more information about that. And I do have one other thing to show you. So this is a book called Good Cheer. It is from Art to Heart, which is Nancy Halverson's pattern collection. And it includes this quilt along with all of these. And there are also these adorable stockings in the pattern. So you can find this at arttoheart.com. And this whole book of patterns was created specifically for the Star of Wonder, Star of Light fabric collection. All right, so with that being said, we're going to move into the Q&A section. So I'm going to go look through the Q&A box and ask some of these questions. Okay, the first one's for Kaitlin. Kaitlin, do you teach classes online or in person only?
Currently, it's just in person in Madison, Wisconsin, but you never know, maybe I'll venture online eventually.
Great, thank you. Linda asks that she missed the earlier session. Will there be replays of the event available? Absolutely. We will be posting these on our website. If you go to Benartex.com and click on the virtual fabric show button, you'll find the links to the videos there. Carol Tripp asks, what is Amanda's website? Amanda?
You can head to BeMandyThings.com, all one word, and find everything you need there.
Great. And we actually have another question for you. Do you have an option for a long handle on your bag? Ella likes the look of the small handle, but she prefers a longer strap.
So I didn't include that in the pattern, but if you follow the way that I make the handle in the pattern, you could always add whatever length you want for your handles. So you could make it longer to fit your needs and still follow the way that I've designed the handles. So it's super easy to add the length to it. But I didn't include a longer option in the panel or in the pattern, but that's a good idea for the next one that I'm going to make.
Great, thank you. Okay, I'm going to ask this one to everyone because it's an interesting question. Do you prefer, oh, I'm sorry, no, this is actually for Amanda. Do you prefer cotton or polyester for sewing the bags?
As in the outer fabric? I prefer.
She doesn't say.
So I work with cotton fabric. I don't use too much polyester, but in the bag making world, there's wax canvas, waterproof canvas, cork, faux leather. I mean, there's so many different options. So I use those, but I don't work a whole lot with polyester. I prefer cotton.
Okay. And then, do you have a preference for a stabilizer for your bags?
Yes, I do. My go-to combo is usually fusible fleece and SF101. And I include those options in the Starry Tote pattern. So that's always my go-to for whenever I make a bag. It makes it nice and structured, and you could always add more to make it more structured, or as I say with bags, you do whatever makes you feel comfortable and the look that you're going for. But those are my two main stabilizers that I use.
Fantastic, thank you. Okay, so, oh, I have an interesting question. This one goes out to all of you. Curtains or no curtains in the sewing studio? Stephanie Finella's is remodeling. So, Kari, do you have curtains in your studio? Kari, you're muted.
Okay, sorry. I do. I have actually I have like 3 different areas that I kind of go live in with my sewing world. But I have curtains in all the rooms. Yeah, I like the more color the better for me.
All right, Kaitlin, how about you?
I'm a no curtains person. I don't need to wash all the lint off of the curtains. So I'm definitely no curtains.
All right, and Tammy, what do you think?
So I do have curtains. They are white because white curtains will actually brighten the room, but you know, light is the enemy to our fabric, right? So yes, curtains, but white.
Okay. And Amy, how about you? Do you have curtains in your sewing studio?
We're gonna shock everybody. They're pink.
Really?
Yes,
I would
I
never
have
would have
pink.
guessed.
Right? Who would have? They are magenta velvet. I'm also team protect the color fastness of your fabric, and they are open when I'm doing things that need light like this, and the rest of the time they're closed.
Okay, and Amanda, what about you?
I have curtains in all my rooms, especially my sewing room, because my sewing room gets blasted by the afternoon sun. So they're actually the heat blocking black light curtains to keep it all out. But I have them in all rooms of my house, and also in my camping trailer. I made a whole bunch of curtains that are all over the place in there. So if it's got something I can put fabric on, it's going on.
Fantastic. Okay. Oh, Amy, I have a question for you. What was the name of the pattern for the stockings again?
It is the Roomy Stocking by Carolina Moore. You can just Google Roomy Stockings. I'm pretty sure she's the only one that's got something with that name on it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, and 2 more questions for you, Amy. Number 1, what is the name of the colorful quilt behind you? And number 2, everyone wants to see your cat.
Oh, so the quilt behind me is it is just a scrappy gradient. There is no pattern. I took the leftovers from my Interstellar pattern and made a gradient out of them and starred some of my corners just for the sake of using up my scraps. I'm on a mission to not let them pile up for 2 years like normal. And the cats, so there's Twilight, who does not like being held. And let's see if we can grab the other. You definitely won't be. Oh no.
Oh, there's your curtains. I saw your curtains.
Yeah. And where is she? Can you see her?
There
There's
she is.
Both of my cats are named after My Little Pony characters because I have short people. So we're all named after Smurfs or My Little Pony characters.
Fantastic. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, someone asked how many colors are in the chalk textures line. There are currently 63 SKUs in that collection. And I think Tammy Silvers has probably used at least 61 of the 63. There might be a couple of colors that she has not used, but maybe not. I think she might have used them all. Does chalk texture come in wide width? Currently, no, I don't believe so. But I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask to have that checked on. Oh, Tammy, when you press your seams open, do you use a dry iron or steam?
So I am a pressing demon. I use steam. I also love Best Press, but what's even better than Best Press, there is something better. Sorry, Best Press. And that's flatter. And so, yes, steam and a clapper. Because you have
Good
to,
to know.
Some seams need to be condensed.
Okay, and actually I have another question for you. What stitch length do you use
So
in your paper piecing?
yeah, every machine is going to be different. That's one thing I've noticed with, especially with computerized machines. So I sew right now on a Janome, and it is computerized. And so on this one, for paper piecing, it's 1.8. My advice is shorten your stitch length, but don't get it so short that you can't take out the stitches, because love you, and I'm sure you're freaking fabulous, but we all make mistakes, and you don't want those stitches so tiny that you can't take out the stitches.
Okay, and one more question for you. What is your favorite way to remove the paper from the seam before you stitch? Tear, water seam and tear, cut it out, or question mark?
So just to take it out of the stitch, just out of the seam, that's usually no big deal. And I just tear it. For the whole project, to have somebody else do it. That's my favorite method, is to have somebody else do it. But if nobody else will do it, then lightly, did I say lightly, misting it and then letting it dry really does weaken the paper, and help it come off nice, and pull it on the bias. So when you pull that unit on the bias, because you shortened your stitch length, so nothing's coming undone, and you pull it on the bias, a lot of that, the paper is going to pop anyway.
All right, thank you. So now I've got a couple of questions that are just going to go out to everybody. Let's see, where's that one? So do any of you have UFOs in your sewing studio? You don't have to tell us how many, just tell us yes or no, unless you want to tell us how many. Amanda's giving us the big thumbs up. She has all the UFOs.
I have so many. Most of them are from when I first started quilting or sewing and making bags. So yeah, I got a lot.
Okay, and how about Kaitlin? Do you have lots of UFOs?
I don't have many. From where I'm sitting, I can see 2.
Okay,
So
that's
I'm pretty sure I'm
impressive.
under 10 in this room.
Nice. Tammy?
Oh, I have a lot, and they're not all in this room, but there are 3 right now that are, yeah, staring at me. So
Kari, how about you?
I do as well. I've kind of tried to limit myself, because I'm like, oh my goodness, you get started and then you go to another thing, and then you have to like remember where you're at, what you're doing. So I have a few, but yeah.
Amy, how about you? How many UFOs?
I currently have 5, which is the most
Oh.
I've ever had. I'm a finish what you start type of girl. But I have not quilted but 2 quilts all year. So all my other tops are still staring at me with shame and guilt.
Well, it's a perfect time to start thinking about getting those done, because you can have them done. If you finish up your UFOs, then you can get more fabric. And then
Yeah, I'll be
start
calling
making more
you
UFOs.
later, and ordering several bolts of backing fabric.
There you go. Okay. Okay, so for all of you, do you do your own quilting, or do you send your quilts out to the spa to be finished? So Kari, I know the answer for you, but go ahead.
Yeah, I long arm quilt, and so it's kind of fun. I enjoy the whole thing. So yes, I do my own.
Tammy, how about you? Do you quilt all your own?
So I have a quilt fairy that is very near and dear to my heart, but tree line that y'all just saw, I did that myself because it's small, and I can do it because it's small.
That's fantastic. How about you, Kaitlin? Do you do all your own quilting, or do you send yours out?
I'm about 90% do it myself. And if it's big and bulky, I send it to a friend to long arm.
Okay. And Amanda, what about you? Do you do your own quilting?
I do because it's all small. I have one quilt that I have made and finished, and that went to a quilter, but everything else I do myself because it's small and it can fit on my machine. And if I don't quilt it, it's never going to get done.
See, and I'm very lucky because I don't do my own quilting, but my mom is a long arm quilter. So I just get to piece everything and I box it up and I send it off to Florida and it has a little nice spa time and it comes back to me miraculously quilted with a binding and a sleeve. So what's better than having a long arm machine is having your mom be a professional long arm quilter. So let's see. I do have a couple other little questions, just some get to know you questions for our ambassador. So I'll ask those now. Let's see. Oh, so we know Amy's favorite color is pink, but let's see what the other ambassadors, what our other ambassadors' favorite colors are. Amanda, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is a coral, which is like a mix of orange and pink together. I go for anything.
Okay. And Tammy, how about you?
Turquoise.
All right, Kaitlin?
I would say rainbow, but if I had to choose one, it would be teal.
Okay. And how about you, Kari? What's your favorite color?
I also, it's hard to pick because I just love all the colors, but I like teal, turquoise, coral. Those are kind of my favorites.
All right. And then let me double check the questions, see if anybody else has asked any other questions. I think I got all of the questions. Yeah, I think I got all the questions that everyone asked. So one last question. And I find this one very interesting. What one sewing notion can you not live without? Oh, Amanda's reaching for something. She's got it in her hand. Let's see it.
This is my Creative Grids 8.5 by 24-inch ruler. I use it on a daily basis. If I could sleep with it, I would. This is what I use every single day.
All right. And Kari, how about you? What's the one notion that you can't live without?
I think my rotary cutter and ruler. I do a lot of traditional things, and so it's kind of a good standby.
Okay, and what about you, Amy? What one notion in your studio that can you not live without?
A double shot latte. None of the other notions are going to work if there's no caffeine.
Fantastic. All right, and Tammy?
So I'm going to say an iron because no matter what piecing style, everything looks better when it's pressed really well.
All right, and Kaitlin, how about you?
After working with 7 kids this week, it's sewing clips. They save fingers.
I bet. Okay. So I think we just had one more question pop up. Let's answer this last question and then we'll start wrapping up our show for today. Oh, what iron do you use? Tammy, what iron do you use?
Alysso.
Okay.
I love the raise up feature. I mean, it's fun, number one, for your iron to go, yeah, like a little robot, but it also saves a lot of wrist strain from doing this.
Okay. Okay. Oh, and I do have one other question. What program do your designers use to design your patterns and or write your patterns? I know there's there's usually there's two schools. There's the Adobe people and then there's the EQ people. So let's find out what you guys are. Kari?
I'm an EQ girl.
Okay, and Kaitlin?
Adobe.
All right, Amy?
Definitely an Adobe girl.
And Tammy?
I do both.
Okay. And how about you, Amanda?
Well, I'm gonna shock you. Neither. Right now, I'm just using Canva to write my patterns.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. Well, I think that's all the time that we have for today for questions. Except this one last question. When is our next fabric show? Our next fabric show will be sometime in October, and it will feature our summer and fall releases. So watch our social media and our website for more information on that, but it will be sometime in October. So first off, I want to thank you all for coming to our Christmas in July virtual fabric show. It's been great to have you all here, and I want to thank the ambassadors that came and shared their projects, and encourage all of you to go visit their websites, visit them on social media, see the other things that they've created with Benartex fabrics this year. These ambassadors have been amazing. Their projects have all been absolutely stellar, and I've loved to see each and every project as it comes in. I wanted to let you all know that we will have a blog post up on our blog very soon with pictures of all of the projects that you saw here today, along with direct links to the designer's website so that you can find the projects and get started on your Christmas sewing. And also, I'd like to announce the winner of our giveaway for this session. Congratulations to Carol Tripp. You are the winner. So we will be contacting you via email to get your mailing address to send out a fun and fabulous fabric prize to you. And I think that's everything for today. Once again, thank you all so much for coming and being a part of this event. We really appreciate your time. If you want to see any more of these fabrics, go to our website, benartex.com. Be sure to follow us on social media. We are on Facebook and Instagram, Benartex Fabrics and Benartex. And if you haven't followed our Facebook group, which is called Create Inspire Delight, please go do that. Share your projects with us that you've made with Benartex fabrics, and use the hashtag #IamBenartexian, and you could be entered in to win another fabulous fabric surprise. So thank you all again for coming, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and happy Christmas in July.